And we're live on Monday morning. You guys awake? Come on now.
Yeah, I'm awake.
Awesome. My name is Mariana, as you can see down below. Woo! I love my bar. Anyways, and we're going to be talking about motivation today. Where do I find it? Where do we find it, guys? That's the topic for the day.
It just drops out of the sky.
Yeah.
Is that where it comes from?
I'm not sure about that, but
No?
anyways, I found
Does it
it
hit you all of a sudden?
sometimes if you know someone throws something at me to wake up, but that doesn't happen very often, thank God. So I found a quote that I thought was really cool to start with. It says, "A successful person realizes his personal responsibility for self-motivation. He starts with himself because he possesses the key to his own ignition switch." Vroom, vroom. All right, so with that being said, who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Paul.
Well, I mean, I think motivation, like obviously we hear a lot, I'm not motivated. Whatever it is. Oh, I'm just not motivated to do that. And the truth is, motivation doesn't come just like I said. It doesn't just drop out of the sky. It doesn't just hit you, you know.
Yeah.
It's something that, I mean, at least for me, and I'm going to use fitness as an example because I like to use fitness as an example because that seems to be something a lot of people lack motivation in. For me, like motivation comes when I start doing it. So I need to take action, you know, and I need by starting to take action, that's when the motivation starts because you know, if you start doing something, you're going to want to continue doing it, especially if you're starting to see results.
Right.
So as soon as you start seeing results, it's going to just, you know, snowball. It's going to just keep going and going and getting more and more powerful. That's just like one of the ways. But I think, like, I got to back up just a little bit. Before you can even take action, is you got to have a why, a purpose, a reason for why you want to do what it is you want to do. And that purpose needs to be big. It needs to be really big because if it's not, you're not going to want to do it. You're going to find any excuse, any reason why you can't do it. Because a lot of times you roll out of bed in the morning like, man, I just don't feel like doing my workout. I'm just tired. I don't feel like doing it. And you're not going to have the motivation. You're not going to feel like doing it. So you're always going to fall back on that why, that purpose, that reason that's bigger than yourself. You know, it's like maybe you want to do it for your kids. You want to get healthy for your family. You want to be around for your kids. You want to be able to play with your kids. I mean, I don't know. Whatever your reason is, it has to be a big reason. If it's not a big reason, you're not going to follow through with it. And and that reason, that why, that purpose, that burning desire, whatever it is, it's going to motivate you. At least it does me. If I have a big reason for doing something, I'm going to be motivated to do it. Whereas if you're not passionate about it, if you're not interested in doing it, you're not going to do it. You know, if you don't have a reason to do it, you're not going to do it. So
yeah,
there has to be that reason, and then you got to take action. That's really, for me, that's where motivation comes. You know, it's like taking that action. Just keep going. Just get started. Especially with exercise. Just get started. Start. You know, do something. Do some. Go for a walk.
yeah,
You go for a walk, you're going to start feeling better. And then little by little, maybe next time you want to go for a jog, you know, or whatever it is, you're going to add something to it because you're going to feel better, and that motivation's going to come. You're going to start seeing results, and little by little, you get more and more motivated. I mean, this is what's happened to me. And then from that motivation, you're going to want to inspire other people. That's just what happens. So that's what I have.
yeah.
Someone wants to add something to that or throw something else out there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can relate to that, you know, little by little. You know, it takes little baby steps, you know, because in the beginning, I did not like working out. I hated it. If I could, you know, lose weight by eating like a bird, I would do that instead. But it's obviously not the best thing to be doing to your body to, you know, eat just like salads all the time, or, you know,
And it really doesn't
not.
work that well either. I mean,
No, it doesn't.
if you look at someone that eats like a bird,
Yeah.
and you look at someone that actually does some kind of fitness, some kind of exercise, some kind of resistance training, you know, the muscle tone is different. The body just looks different. It looks more
Yeah.
lean. It looks more healthy.
Yeah. And it was basically, I was like doing the whole roller coaster yo-yo thing, you know. I would lose some weight and then gain it all back, and it just wasn't working. So in the beginning, I had to start with just that, with just walking, because that was, you know, the first step for me. I would start calculating, like with a little pedometer, how many steps I was taking a day, and it started motivating me to do other things. So I started going in and working out in different ways after that. So I can definitely relate to that.
Well, it's about action.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, Dan. Okay. Tom?
No, I agree with you. I guess my questions are like, so we give people a description of what motivation is, but how do they stay motivated?
Right.
I mean, I hear you say that they come up with a why, and there's a reason why they want to either, you know, get in shape, lose weight, get off their diabetes medicine. But I think taking it a step further is what are some of the things that people can do to stay motivated. And I guess two that come to my mind is finding an accountability partner or a group or a coach, which means getting support also. So accountability and support, because a lot of times, you know, people are just trying things. They're either, you know, they see stuff in a magazine at the grocery store, they see something on TV, they see somebody at the gym doing something, they hear their friend doing something, but everybody's an individual, and I think it's really important that they find a coach or somebody to work with to guide them and to support them, but also to get their peers that are going to come and get them. I mean, some days I think it's more than just saying, just go out and do it.
Mm-hmm.
I just know human nature is, I feel like crap, and I don't feel like doing it today.
Well, I mean,
and some people are stronger than others. You know what I mean? But the majority of the people need some type of accountability and support. They don't have the willpower or the mental strength in the beginning to just go out and do it every day.
And that's a great point, you know. And you know, I didn't put everything out there because I wanted other people to come up with ideas too. But yeah, definitely. I mean, having a coach or an accountability partner is super, super important. And definitely, if you fall back, like there are going to be days where you don't feel like it. And if you have an accountability partner that's really an accountability partner, it'd be like, hey, what are you doing? You know, remember to do this. You got to do whatever it is you got to do. You know. Mm-hmm. And the other thing I didn't even, I just thought about just now is success stories. You know, you see other people who have maybe come from where you're at, or maybe in worse situations, rise up and do something, you know, really great, and that can motivate you. That can really put a fire under you and
definitely
keep you going. And you know, just motivational audios too, videos, and any kind of thing where that it's going to drive you. But I really think, like, when you're in the midst of it and you're starting to see results, that's where your motivation really kicks in. That's where it really gets going, because now you're seeing results. Now you're like, I want to keep going. I don't want to stop. You know, and it's contagious. So
that's definitely what happened to me. Like, once I started doing it was Insanity when I started first, or after I started like working up to, you know, some sort of physical activity. I got into that, and I didn't want to stop after. I haven't stopped, really.
So what's Insanity?
It's basically 60 days of intense. It's more like a endurance training, I guess you can say, but it's intense. For those who haven't done any exercise, I would recommend doing something else first, but it's pretty amazing what you end up with when you're done with those 60 days. I mean, it boosted everything from my self-confidence to my booty. So
So let me ask this: if so, I'm a there's a very inspirational leader on there, right? That inspires you, pushes you, motivates you,
Awesome. Yes,
keeps
he's
you
awesome.
going, right? Sean T.
Sean T is
And
awesome.
if you didn't have that, you probably wouldn't do it, right? You'd probably be like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
It'd
Why would
probably
I?
be different. Yeah.
But when you have him going, hey, give me one more, give me just two more, come on, you got this,
Yeah.
and he's just constantly dig deeper, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. Uh, that definitely helps too. So that's going back to what Tom said about having accountability, having a coach, having a mentor that's
Yeah,
going to
someone to push you,
continue to
really.
drive you. Yeah, I know that helps me too. I mean, I'm pretty intrinsically motivated myself. Like I just go for it, but
Mm-hmm.
it helps. It helps to have that accountability. It helps to have someone driving you. It helps to have those success stories. It definitely helps.
Yeah,
Um, a lot of us are externally motivated, so we need that extra motivation, that extra push,
definitely.
especially if it's not something you're not that into. Like at the beginning, you may not be. Oh, I don't want to exercise. Like maybe you haven't done it before. Maybe it's like a big, huge hurdle you got to overcome.
Yeah,
So having that support is definitely going to help with your motivation.
definitely.
It's going to definitely help you get going. And I really think seeing other people do it is something that drives you too. And just getting around other people that are doing it too. On top of that, getting
Hmm.
around other people and sharing your struggles and sharing your successes, that's going to really help too.
Yeah,
And you're going to get more motivated because you're working with other people going through the same thing you're going through. So it's like, I'm not alone in this. Now I have other people to work with. So
hmm,
I think all of that involved is very important when
yeah, very.
it comes to being motivated.
Yeah, I agree. You got anything for us, Tom?
No, I agree with what you guys are saying. So it's just they really need to just find an accountability partner if they can. Um, don't give up. Have a plan. The other thing would be to have a plan. That comes to mind. Have some type of plan. I mean, what is their goal? Like Paul talked about, their why.
Hmm.
Um, have a goal. I think it's good to have an end date. Don't be like look at it for a whole year. Maybe go in little 60-day cycles like you just talked about, 90-day cycles, 30-day cycles. So it's not so long.
Hmm.
Um, know that I guess one big thing about motivation is, which I had read something online today, is which some of us know, is that don't be concerned about the scales. The weight will come off eventually if you want to lose weight,
Hmm.
but fat is heavier than muscle. So in the beginning, if somebody's really deconditioned, they're going to be building muscle, so they might not really see the weight come off. They will be
Yeah,
losing fat, but they're going to probably be gaining muscle and losing fat at the same time. So I think it's really to just keep on going. And I mean, and realistically for weight loss, it's 1 to 1.5 pounds per week, even
hmm,
though I've seen people lose, a lot of weight. But I just think that people need to be patient. And the other thing too is that look at it like a lifestyle change and not a short-term fix.
yeah,
A lot of times we tend to, as humans and stuff like that, we want things right away. And this is definitely a lifestyle change. You're
hmm,
making a change of your life. I would caution people to make little changes at one time instead of changing everything at once.
hmm,
Like going cold turkey, I'm going to go to the gym. I'd be careful to stay motivated of just taking on too much at once
yeah,
because you become overwhelmed. And from my experience with myself and working with people, that we set ourselves up for disappointment because we just take on too much and we burn out and we quit.
yeah,
So go ahead, Paul. What's
That's a
that?
great point. That's a really great point. I know you see this, and I see this. One of the things especially around January, 1st of January, we always see this. It's like, okay, I'm going to work out 7 days a week, twice a day, and then it's like you go 1 week and you're done. That's it. You're done. Oh no, it's not for me. It doesn't
yeah.
work. So yeah, taking it small. Excuse me.
The Roots just came to town.
Yeah, really, man. You better go. You better get out in your yard and take care of that stuff, man.
I think the cats went crazy.
Yeah. Hey, One thing I was thinking of what Paul just said also is that it's sort of what I was saying. When people ask me like how's business, or when I talk about business in general, especially okay, I feel that people definitely need to work on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, their business, but also you really got to look at it from January to December 31st. That's your business, or whatever it is. And that's my point going back to I think people need to really, in their lifestyle, in making a lifestyle change, realize that it's going to get better as you go on. It took you this far to get into the woods. It's going to take you a little while to get out of the woods. I mean, people can have significant results, but a lot of times people have things going on. I mean, I see a lot of people get these significant results, and I know that they're doing every workout program they're supposed to, every session. They're following the nutrition plan to a T. They're probably taking some supplements. They're getting enough sleep. They're eating the perfect food. So, we're going to be people are stressed out. They might not work out 6 days a week. They might not be eating the meal plan to a T. So you just got to really put in the time, the commitment, with the accountability, but it's going to take a little bit of time. So, and like what you said, Mariana, that, after a while it got easier, and it does get easier after a while. It does become common knowledge. You learn things, but at the same time, I just keep on, what keeps on coming up is you got to just give it time.
Yeah.
I had a woman one time, I went into a friend of mine's salon, and they were cutting my hair or something, and this woman says, "Oh, what do you do for work?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, he helps people, get healthy and stuff like that, lose weight." She's like, "Well, I need to lose 20 pounds in a month." And I said, "I can't help you." And she's like, "Well, what do you mean?" And I said, "Because it's not realistic. I don't really think that it's healthy to lose 20 pounds in a month. It can be done, but back then, which was like around 2001 or 2002 maybe, that we didn't have the technology that we have today. Meaning technology means the workout programs, the functional training, the high-intensity interval training. We didn't really use those things back 10 years ago as much. It wasn't common knowledge. So she was going to get married and wanted to lose this weight within, like, say, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And she said, "Well, somebody said that they could help me do it." I'm like, "Well, you need to go talk to that person, but it's very, very dangerous."
Yeah.
So that's where I go back to, realistically, it's 1 pound to 1.5 pounds per week. You need to lose 50 pounds, you need to give it probably, 9 months. It could happen faster. I've seen people lose 100 pounds in a year, but I'm just saying, everybody has different circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the body fat too. Like what they're carrying. If you're carrying a lot, obviously you're going to lose more. Than someone that's not carrying as much. So, I wanted to give a little tip about motivation too. Just since we're talking about exercise, I know for me, and I've seen this before. One of the things I say is, if you don't feel like doing your workout, just try to do the warm up. Try to get through the warm up. If you can get through the warm up, add another minute. Add another minute. And if you can get through that minute, add another minute. And before you know it, you're going to get through your whole entire workout. But just start with the warm up. If you get through the warm up, chances are you're probably going to continue, unless you're just not feeling it. But chances are you're going to continue, because if you get through that warm up, you're like, okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to stop. Yeah. So I think the hardest thing is to get started. That's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Whenever you work out, whatever it is, if you work out in the morning, whatever it is, the hardest thing is getting started. So if you get started, I'm going back to action, you're gonna get through it. You're gonna get there. But I definitely feel it's important to have all of those factors. The accountability, the why, the purpose, the reason why you're doing it, and then the action. I think those all influence motivation. And then on top of that is, like you told me the other day about rain or whatever. Like you have to, shower. Like you have to shower yourself.
Yeah.
And like, so you got to listen to success stories and different audios that promote success and motivation and inspiration.
Yeah.
That definitely will help drive you forward to whatever goal it is you're trying to achieve. It doesn't have to be fitness. It could be anything. You know?
Yeah. I was just going to say that we are referring to things and giving examples with fitness, but this definitely applies to any goal that you're trying to set or anything. Sorry, excuse me. My raisins are getting stuck in my throat. It definitely applies to anything you're doing in life. I mean, it could be anything from trying to, you know, I don't know, I can't think of examples right now, but it could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, is there anything that you guys can add to that, like just life examples, or?
I mean, I just say get an accountability partner. I mean, I joined. You know, I can work out on my own. Well, I'm going back to exercise just because we've been on that topic. But you know, I've done programs that are 30, 60, 90 days. But you know, before having like an accountability partner, I'd always skip days. I'd always like I like playing beach volleyball. So one of the things I would always do is replace one of the workouts and go play beach volleyball and say that was my workout. Oh, I played beach volleyball today. Not the same thing. It's not the same thing. You want results, you're not going to get results doing that. Sure, you're active, but it's not the same thing. So I would do that. And then I'm like, you know what, it's a leg day. I'm going to go play volleyball instead. I use my legs in volleyball. Again, not the same thing. So where I'm going with this is before I had the accountability, before I got into a group where I was actually being held accountable by other people, I would skip days. I mean, I was active, I was doing something, but I was not consistent in my program. And it was not until I got involved in a group where I was, you know, accountable. Even though I was the person leading the group, I still felt like I was a leader. I needed to be accountable. You know, I needed to do this. It motivated me to not miss any workouts. Like I would do, even when I didn't feel like it. Even when I'm like, I just don't feel like doing a workout. I'm going to do it though. I can't let my group down. You know, I have to do it. And that's just what drove me to continue to do my workouts every day, even on days where I just honestly did not. And I was doing very tough workouts. I mean, I was doing very high intensity. It took a real toll. You know, it's like it wears you out doing that stuff. It takes a lot of energy, and so. Yeah. But what I'm saying is the accountability, like you said, the accountability is huge. You know, it's like if you have that support system, even like for me, like another thing you can do is plant your stake in the ground. You know, tell the world what your intentions are, what your goals are, what you want to achieve. That's going to motivate you. Maybe, I don't know, it motivates me. If I tell people, hey, I'm going to be doing this, I'm not shy about it. I do videos and all kinds of stuff. I tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I put that out there. I'm like, okay, I got to hold myself to that. You know? Yeah. So I'm like, that motivates me. I'm like, I put that out there. I'm going to look like a fool if I don't do it. You know? So that really keeps me going big time. And I've heard other leaders talk about that too. It's like, tell the world what your intentions are. Tell the world what your goals are. You keep them to yourself, it's going to be easier to fall off. You know, it's going to be easier. Oh, I don't feel like it today. I'm not going to do it. But when you have other eyes on you, other people looking at you and watching you as an example, you know, looking up to you as an example, you got to do it. You know, and if you don't do it, then you're going to like, oh, well, what happened? You're going to have to answer. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. Put yourself out there. You know, share it to the world what you want to do, what you want to achieve. That's going to motivate you. So accountability, put yourself out there. It's another thing I would add to the discussion.
Awesome. I think those are both great ideas. Definitely things that I've done too. So.
Yeah, I mean, you put it out there. You there's risk. You know what I mean? Like you definitely. You're definitely risking people coming back at you like, hey, what happened? Why didn't you do it? You know?
Yeah. Awesome. Tom, is there anything you wanted to add? Yeah, you're a little frozen.
No, just what Paul said. I think Paul brought up a good point about, you know, these extracurricular activities are just extra. So you need to get on a program that has structure, that is scientifically works, and you know, typically those are doing something at a minimum 3, 5 would be better. But they need to be doing something those many days per week. And also, like what Paul said, that that's just extra stuff. I hear people say, "Well, I'm going to go for a walk." Well, that's extra. Well, I'm going water skiing today. Well, that's extra.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can do that stuff, but don't think that it's going to really have something that's going to impact your, getting healthier. Whether it's you want to get bulked up, you want to tone up, you want to lose weight, those are just extracurricular activities and should not be considered a workout.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a program, stick to the program. Stick to the plan. I mean, that's a different discussion, but honestly, stick to the plan. If you go off the plan is set up for a reason. You have a plan, it's set up for a reason to get you those results. If you go off and do your own thing, you can't guarantee those results. It's that simple. So but that's a whole different discussion.
Yep. But that's a really good point that you brought up before, though.
Awesome. So, I'm not sure how long we've been on here. I didn't put the timer on, so if you guys have nothing else to add, we can just close up shop and end the broadcast now.
I thought about one other thing, like, there's a lot of motivational videos, like, on YouTube.
Those are my favorite.
I mean, like, for me, just watch Will Smith. That guy.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
What he says, I mean, it's just awesome. For me, anyway. I mean, he says he'll outwork anybody. He's all, you put me on a treadmill, I'll stay there till I die. You're not going to beat me.
He's hilarious. I love him.
And then, yeah, it's good stuff. And there's a lot of motivational videos out there.
Yeah, YouTube has a lot of great stuff.
So, I mean, you can check that out. Music can motivate. Music can fire you up, and music definitely has a way to get you going, especially if it's more positive kind of music.
Mm-hmm.
I know for me, like working out, I like the heavier stuff too. That really fires me up, especially like weightlifting. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Makes you feel like you can conquer the world, right?
But I mean, there's so many different resources, you can tap into to get motivated. And motivation doesn't just happen though.
You just have to take the first step.
So please do yourself a favor and don't say you're not motivated. Like, stop saying that. Like, I'm not motivated enough. Stop saying that, because you're just limiting yourself.
Yeah.
Instead of saying that, go get motivated. Just get started doing something. I don't know, whatever it is, just get started. Because if you're gonna sit there, I'm not motivated, using that excuse, you're never gonna be motivated. It doesn't just happen. Oh, I woke up this morning, I'm motivated now. No, it doesn't happen that way. It doesn't. So, and if you're looking for an accountability partner, just click on that button down below. You can have one of us as your coach. I think you can see that we're definitely here to help you and encourage you to reach your goals. That's what we're here for. It's what we like to do. So definitely do that. And I don't know. You got anything else to say? I mean, I can go on and on about motivation. But
I can tell you love this topic. It's awesome.
It's very important. I mean, any sense, anything you want to achieve.
Mm-hmm. It starts with it. Yeah.
It's something I hear like literally on a daily basis. I'm not motivated.
Yeah.
I'm not motivated, and I just want to like seriously smack that person. I'm like, stop, stop saying you're not motivated.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anywhere doing that.
Yeah.
Motivation doesn't just happen. So the things we outlined today, accountability, purpose, inspirational success stories.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing anything? I think that's it.
Okay.
Get some great music.
Yeah, I mean, find a resource. Maybe art motivates you. I don't know. Maybe nature gets you excited. Like, go outside, look around.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I have the ocean nearby, so I can just go out. That motivates me. I'm like, wow. I have a whole different energy when I'm out by the ocean.
Definitely.
It's a whole different feel. It's like for whatever reason, it's like you want to be active. At least I do by the ocean. It's just, and I think it's other people too, because you see them jogging, you see them walking, you see them playing baseball, soccer, volleyball. They're active,
Yeah.
Something about that. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I'm rambling. I'll shut up. Go take care of the rooster.
I know. Go take care of that guy. Anyways, yeah. So just to finish off, I found this little comic. It's pretty funny. I'll just explain it to you because it's kind of hard to see. It's little on my book. But there's this guy on a cell phone, like next to his car, in the middle of the desert, right? And he's on the phone saying, I'm going to be late for work this morning. I was listening to my motivational tapes and suddenly found myself driving farther and faster than I ever imagined I could. So that's cool. I want some glasses. Yeah, so the motivational tapes, I know for me that kind of fires me up. I really like listening to like Danny Johnson and
She's awesome.
John C. Maxwell. He's pretty cool too. He always has some good stuff on his website. I mean, it's just one of those things where you just have to keep putting that stuff in your mind. You know, you just have to keep surrounding yourself with that kind of uplifting talk and making sure that you constantly hear it so that you can keep moving forward to whatever you're trying to reach. So, I mean, I know today we kind of focused on fitness, but like I said, you know, it's in anything you want to do, whether it's, you know, I can't think of ideas.
School.
Huh?
Getting your education. Getting.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks.
Business.
Yeah, you're starting a new business or trying to finish a degree or get started in a, you know, doctorate program or something. I don't know. It all starts with what you put into your mind. That's the basics. What you think, what you put into your mind, and where you take that. What kind of action you do after listening to that kind of stuff. So, that being said, I'm going to finish my cashews and my trail mix, and we're going to log off and say goodbye.
All right, peace out.
Adios.